So if you've ever been to the UK lately, you'll have realized the high street is now dominated by Turkish barbershops, nail salons, and in the real center, like London city center, American candy shops. What's going on? Why are there so many? And the answer is simply money laundering. Mass money laundering. Now, what is money laundering? It is people who sell illegal activities, drugs or prostitution or criminal gangs, or especially Russians that have come here, brought illegal money in, and they got a lot of cash. Now, cash you can't actually put in the system. Very difficult to use cash. Can't buy a house with it. Can't buy a car with it. Can't invest with it. Can't get in the banking system. So you need to clean that money. Now, the way you do that is you do these nail salons and hairdressers. So what you do there is a hairdresser, you say, we had 100 customers today. Who's going to tell you you don't? You don't have to book. There's no inventory that HMRC can review and see, you sold 100 items today or 100 items. They don't know because they don't know how many people you had. Number two, they don't even know what services you gave each one. One guy could have had a haircut. Another guy could have had a whole beard and massage and a face, whatever. So because they can't, identify what you've done, therefore, anything goes. And also, it's a cash business. So there's no records of anything. Nothing has to be passed through. Basically, it doesn't need banking system connection. And so you can dump a ton of cash. What they do is they'll have a Turkish barber there, and the Russian mafia guy just dumps cash in the till. And then the Turkish barber says, I made £10,000 this month. There's no way of you knowing how many people he had or what services he gave. He then takes 25 to 40% kickback. He'll take that money. Then he puts it through the system. He pays his tax. He pays his everything. And then he'll send that money back out to the Russian as either he's an employee, so therefore he actually saves tax, right? So pretends he's an employee and it gives the guy money, so he doesn't pay any tax on that, or he gives as a present, to the person, or expenses or whatever. So that is how it's done with the Turkish barbers and the nail salons. That's why there are so many. Now, what do they do with the American candy shops? This I can't, it's a bit difficult to understand why they do this. The American candy shops, they don't have prices on their products. So there's no way, again, of telling how much they sold each product. They tell HMRC, we decide how much each thing is. 2 boxes of Oreos, that's £1,000. 3 boxes of Skittles, £10,000. There's no way that HMRC could say, no, that's a lie, that's not true, because there are no prices on the products. So that's why they're there. They're always empty. They take up huge space on Oxford Street, on Regent Street. Huge spaces, number of them, not just one, many of them, taking up the most expensive rental locations. Now, that is the bit I don't get. Why do you have to take up these really expensive rent places? That I don't understand. Maybe they got something with the landlord. They're paying him money through the back door. They pay him a bit of cash. I don't know what's going on there. But I do know that they are all in these places, all in the public eye. People can see there are empty shops, and they're basically money laundering. Why we don't have more Turkish barbers and nail salons, which I think would clear more money than an American candy shop, that I don't get. But the main question we have to ask is this: why is it being allowed to continue if we know, everyone knows, it's just money laundering fraud? And the answer is this: the UK is a bankrupt country, doesn't make anything, doesn't sell anything. Quarter of the country is on benefits. The high street is dead, too many taxes, too many charges, too many things. So there is no income stream. So in order to fill up the high streets, which would simply be gambling shops and coffee shops, they have allowed these Turkish barbers and nail salons and American candy stores to open up. They pay the landlords the rent. The landlord doesn't care. There could be a brothel there. They wouldn't care as long as they get paid. The councils are happy. They get paid business rates on those places, so they're happy. And the government is happy because they get paid income tax from when you recycle and clean that cash. They have to pay income tax on this fake income They pay income tax on that, and so therefore they get a slice. So everyone gets a slice. And so that's how the UK, which was always really the money laundering capital of the world, 40% of illegal money is laundered through the UK, but it's not really the UK. It's more the UK, the Cayman Islands, Bermuda, things like that. But still, 40% was laundered. That's the big tickets. Now for the small little, drug dealer or whatever, they can also get the opportunity to use the UK as a money laundering state. And so while Holland is basically a narco state, that's how it makes its money. It's a drug capital of Europe. Everything, all the narcos, they make their money there, and it's controlled totally by these narcs. The UK is the way they clean their money, and that's how the West now is basically functioning. They are setting up laws to pretend they're, really regulating this stuff, but yet in plain sight, everyone can see they are allowing the cleaning and basically the legitimacy of these illegal people to continue. And, we've got the UK, the number one immigrants a few years ago was the Albanians, all involved in dodgy car washes and things like that, all involved in illegal activities. Not all, mainly. And that's how you've got, destruction of a once great manufacturing powerhouse into it's resorted to money laundering as its main business.